Hi guys. Hi guys, welcome back to my video. So in this one we will be talking about the movie no one asked for, The Human Centipede. I have been putting this movie off for years to watch. It's always been kind of like, it's like everyone has a gist of what it's about. It's necessarily like a popular film. It's more notorious, I would say. So I was one of the many that were kind of weary to watch this film. So I put a question out there to Twitter and I had a ton of people respond. At this point, it's been a couple months back. And there were very mixed responses of like, oh, if you're a horror fan, you have to check it out. And people saying, don't waste your time, or it's disgusting, they couldn't finish it. The list goes on. But I would say the overwhelming majority said to check it out, try it, it's not that bad. And I personally am like a fan of like Hostel and Saw and stuff like that, so gory stuff doesn't really get to me, doesn't bother me. My thing is vomit. And also I'm not a big fan of people like eating shit either. But I was worried there'd be like a lot of vomit in this, and I can't do that. It's disgusting. Also so is eating shit, but I didn't think there would be like so much of that. Anyway, so in this video I kind of want to break down what happens. I'll give you a gist of it, kind of my thoughts, and then toward the end of the video I will go more into what it was about in case you want to, I don't know, watch it for yourself, which I think you should for the first one. So this is going to be about the first centipede, or the human centipede, and then I will do another video about part 2 and 3 and give you my thoughts on those. So this is actually a Dutch horror film that was directed and co-produced by Tom Six. So kind of the premise of this movie, there is a deranged, like mad scientist, and there's two American girls that are in Germany. They're like vacationing for what, I can't remember why they're even there, to be honest with you, and they get stranded in their car. So they have to find a nearby house or whatever, at least that's what they do. And of course, the house they go to is the one where this mad scientist lives. And that's where they are turned into a human centipede with another person that he kidnapped from another area. I don't want to give too much away. I think everyone, knows that he turned people into a human centipede. But so I want to give you some of my thoughts. Okay, so this movie was really just strange to me, as it would be, but it was more of a like psychological thing than it was anything else. It was definitely weird because obviously the people are like walking around like butt to mouth. But the thing is like, obviously, like, I think that's kind of the thing with horror movies, is probably why I like gory movies and stuff too, because like I know it's fake, and so you know that like their mouth's not really sewed onto their butthole. And so there are a couple parts where it's like, if you think about it, you're like, that's disgusting. But if you really think about it, nothing's actually happening, so it's all really just in your mind. And I hope that doesn't ruin for you if you want to watch the movie. But there are definitely a couple times I had to physically tell myself, like, this is not real. This is not real. Because it's really gross, but it's not showing anything nasty. It's just, you know what's happening and like what they're saying, and the actors and actresses do a great job like making you believe that this is happening, and which just makes you like more just kind of like almost sick to your stomach. I know a lot of people said like, oh, I couldn't eat after this. Like I mean, it didn't like make me like, oh, like want to puke or like, but it did make me uneasy. And I would say more so when he's like explaining what he wants to do is what makes me more uneasy than anything. And I'm like, boy. So, okay, so I'm gonna go into more detail. So I would say though, but I actually did like this movie. I thought it was a good horror movie. It was different. I've never seen anything like this before in my life, and I'm sure a lot of people would agree with that. Like I said, it was more psychological than anything, because really it's just three people strapped together. Obviously it's like face to ass, but nothing's like crazy is happening. It's just the thought of like like you being in this position or this happening to like you, and like what the hell is happening, like, and the fact that you just can't get away, which I guess is most horror movies anyway, is the fact that you're put in this position of like flight or fight type, I don't know, position, and it's just that's what's scary. So okay, so I'm gonna go into more detail now. So if you want to watch this, leave this video, go watch it, enjoy it, have a good time. If you don't care to watch it and you want to listen to more about this movie, then stick with me. So basically, he goes through this whole thing. He has 3 people, the 2 women and a man that he kidnaps from a different spot, and they are all strapped down to different like hospital beds. Yeah, and they have IVs in, and he's like taking care of them as much as he can, and he straps them ass to mouth, and they put this, I think the guy is, I think he is Asian, I'm not 100% sure, he may be Korean, but he does not speak English, and plus, I mean, he's in Germany too, and then these girls, they speak English, and I don't think they really know much German either. So this guy is yelling, and he is trying, like, it's hard for them to even communicate, but eventually the girls end up with their mouths to his ass anyway, so it doesn't matter, because they can't even talk, all they can do is hear. But basically, he gets these people together, but while they're all strapped in the bed, he has like this whole, the mad scientist, he has this whole, like slideshow, like showing them what is happening, what he's going to do to them, how they're going to become this human centipede, and that part got me like feeling, that part almost made me feel kind of like, ugh, because it was just so, I don't know, it was the way he was explaining everything, and he had to like cut things in their knees, and how they're gonna sew their mouth like onto a piece of the butt he's gonna cut off, and it was just a whole thing, and I don't know why, but that part kind of made me feel uneasy, him just explaining it, and I don't know if it's like the medical part of it, I don't know. And then so eventually he does put them together, and I guess that part is like a little bit gory because it shows some blood and stuff, but again, like I like Hostel, so it doesn't really bother me. But then once they are the human centipede, it's like, I don't know, it's like a train wreck. Like, you don't want, like, you shouldn't watch it, but you want to you want to see what happens, that's what it is. So you keep watching, and it's like, it's just so weird. I mean, it's almost like, not that anyone should hit anything or anyone, but it's almost like it's like they're like a puppy, like his puppy is literally what it is. Like, he literally created these people in this human centipede thing to be like a puppy. He has a cage for them, he has a water bowl and a food bowl, and he treats them like a dog, only he like hits them and stuff, which no animal abuse, like that's not cool, but he like smacks them and stuff, like they're like he's training them, and it's a whole thing, and he like has like a collar on them, and he goes, it's so bizarre, it's like almost funny, it's like so out there, it's like almost comedic, but then also kind of makes you sick to your stomach. And he like puts them, because he has a pool in his house, and he like straps them to like a bench or something while he's in the pool so they don't like run away. And I'm like, it's just something I've never seen. I've actually thought about rewatching it, just because when I first was watching it for the first time, I was so on edge because I was waiting for like vomit or like just some really gross stuff to happen, and it didn't, at least not, I didn't think it was like so gross or too gross. I think the most, besides him explaining what he's doing, I have a pen here, I'm like, besides him explaining what he's going to do, I think the part that gets to people the most is when he takes them outside, because he like throws balls and I think frisbees and like has them go get it, like literally they're like his puppy, and there's a part where the guy in the front has to obviously make a bowel movement because, I mean, he made him eat that slop, whatever, dog food, whatever you want to call it. And so he's literally like pooping or whatever, and the mad scientist is like screaming like, eat his shit. And then like literally that actress, like she did such a good job on selling it. Like, it makes you uncomfortable, and that's the part where I'm like, this is fake, like, this is fake. Like, you have to tell yourself, or it really just kind of like is disgusting, but it's like, it's not real, but it really does. I mean, it is pretty gross, but it doesn't like show anything. It's not like disgusting, like it's all in your head, because it's not actually showing, other than her like acting like it's happening and him acting like it's happening, and the way the doctor is like yelling at them and being just kind of crazy, which, I mean, he's a mad scientist, it's like his whole shtick. I don't know, the whole thing is just bizarre. Like, you can't stop watching it. And then eventually there's like 2 cops that end up coming out because they're looking for the missing girls, I believe, because their car is not too far away from there, and obviously they've been missing. And there's like this whole scene of like the cops are there and the scientist, he's acting kind of weird. And they see like the cage, but there's no dog or any animal around because he like locked them up in like a different area because someone knocked on the door. And it's kind of like, at the end, it's kind of a cat and mouse game of like the human centipede, so there's 3 people trying to escape, the mad scientist trying to keep them there, the cops kind of knowing that like something's off about this guy and that something is going on, or he may have these people. Once they find out what he did to these people, like, they are not ready for it at all. I don't know, the whole thing is just really crazy, and I don't want to give away the end. Alright, spoiler, I'm going to give away the end. So I believe, like, in the tussle, like, one of the cops die, and then one of the cops shoot the mad scientist, and then I think something happens to one of the other cops, I believe. Like, everyone, like, someone gets hurt and then they die, and then vice versa. They see that the one cop gets shot, and I think everyone's dead at that point, and they can't get out. So the guy but there's a gun, and so the guy who is in the front that's, like, connected to all these people, whatever, he shoots himself and kills himself. But, like, he's the front person. So these people, and they have to, like, I mean, they would have to, like, drag his dead body. Well, then the girl on the back, so she ends up dying from, like, infection, and she was already having, like, problems with, like, her face and stuff. She was getting infected and whatnot. So then she dies of infection. So there's just the girl in the middle left. And I'm just like, it's just her, and she's just left there. And she is connected surgically to 2 dead bodies now, and she's in the middle. And that is, like, absolutely terrifying and just bizarre. I'm pretty sure both cops and the doctor die, so she's just stuck in this house until someone, I mean, comes and gets her, which honestly, I mean, obviously that'd be traumatic, but technically, I mean, if those cops were gone long enough, they know where they went, so someone would come look for them, they would see there's a struggle, they would go in and search. I mean, eventually they would find her, probably within the day or 2. Like, realistically, she probably would make it. But, I mean, does she want to? I don't know, to be honest. Okay, guys, so that was kind of a lot, but I wanted to break down this movie the best I could and just kind of give my 2 cents on it. I actually saw it about a month or so ago. I wrote some, like, notes down about it that I wanted to speak on. I don't know. I hope that, so if you, if you want to go watch this, I do recommend it. It is actually a good movie, as long as you, like, as long as that kind of stuff doesn't, like, make you sick. And like I said, it didn't, I mean, it was uncomfortable, but it's a horror movie, like, it's uncomfortable. And it's just, like, a kind of a one-of-a-kind type movie. But if you want, I will do a video on 2 and 3. Yeah, and I will give you my thoughts and opinions on those as well. But until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment if you have seen this movie or what your thoughts are, because I really want to know. And yeah, I will see you next time. Alright, thanks so much for watching. Peace out.